let's see. If you look at race results, you'll see lots of 30, 40, 50-year-old runners finishing. Not that many 60-year-old runners finishing, and you're lucky if you got a 70-year-old runner finishing.
Which
and,
we do.
Yes.
We do this year.
So if you go back 20, 30 years from there, those runners had an incredible obsession, passion for running this, not unlike you folks. So what gives when they get to be in their 60s and 70s? You know, at that point, they got more time because they're retired, you know, to put into it. So I think for me, it was pain. So about 7 years ago, if I ran a quarter mile, I would be hurting. It was because of an arthritic knee. And so I quit running. And that lasted about a week. And I got a pair of forearm crutches, cost me $30, and I padded the hand grips, I padded the part that goes around the forearms, and I beefed up the tip a little bit, and that was called the Ford pickup truck. And then from there, I wanted to get rid of a lot of the slop in the forearm, so I started putting straps on it, and that became the Toyota Camry. And then from there, I kept on busting all the aluminum shafts on it, so I replaced it with titanium. And that became the Porsche. And I used that to get me through the 2016 Vermont 100, and I did it in 29:55. Nobody said I was fast. And so after that, I figured, you know, I got to build a crutch from the ground up. So I bought a bunch of titanium tubing, found somebody who welds it, and that became the Lamborghini. And that was, this is them. Very, very mobile, lots of agility, they're light. And I've been using those for the past 2.5, 3 years. And then something tragic happened about 6 weeks ago. I busted one of them. You know, and I was looking, you know, it's like, I thought these things were immortal, you know, kind of like myself. So I had to bring the Lamborghini into the shop, and while I was using the Lamborghini, I had to use the Porsche to get me through. And when I put them on, after not using them for a couple of years, I found that they weren't very comfortable. You know, it's like they were kind of like a torture device. So I had to do two things. I had to make them as comfortable as a Lamborghini and beef them up so they wouldn't break. And so what happened to the Porsche is it kind of became a checker cab. So at this point, I either take the checker cab or the Lamborghini out behind my house where I have 15 square miles of state forest, 60 miles of trails. I really live in paradise. You know, at 68, I'm living the dream. So, and then from there, I recently did a YouTube video called Running on Trails with Forearm Crutches 2. And a couple of professors at University of Connecticut who are in the PT department who do research, they saw it and they invited me to talk to one of their physical therapy classes, which I did. And then when they left it as, well, you know, we'll pitch it to our grad students at the end of the summer. See if anybody's interested in doing any research on it. So at this point, if anybody wants to do research, they got me. So I'm looking for somebody else. So if anybody out there knows of anybody else who runs with crutches or any kind of a lead, you can email me, nitmcdave26@gmail. But I'm also doing this for any runners, former runners who have 2 good arms, 1 good leg, and 1 leg that is not good, and you think you can see the writing on the wall that your running days may be over, but probably not if you want to get involved in some kind of research. You know, if you try something like this, vanity will certainly be lost, but in my case, you know, a soul was found. Okay, did I mention I'm living the dream?